wisdom to help you embrace. No more relying on pills they don't know. She's got the strength to help you grow. Feel the power rising inside. Shayna's guidance right by your side. Life's getting brighter step by step. With Shayna's touch, you're gonna prep. Feel the power rising inside. Shayna's guidance right by your side. Life's getting brighter step by step. With Shayna's touch, you're gonna prep. Medicine shelves are emptying out. Finding real strength, that's what it's about. No more prescriptions tying you down. With Shayna's help, you'll wear the crown. Ladies, hear the call, it's time to rise. Shayna lifts the veil, opening eyes. No more shadows breaking your day. With her wisdom, fight pain away. Broken paths don't mean you're lost. Shayna shows to bear through the cost. Healing hearts one smile at a time. With Shayna, you'll shine forever and healing hearts one smile at a time. Feel the power rising inside. Shayna's guidance right by your side. Life's getting brighter step by step. With Shayna's touch, you're gonna prep. Finding the strength deep inside. Shayna Melissa takes us on this ride from suffering to a life so free. Her healing touch, she'll set you free with the
I hear you. Hey, did you know that prescription drugs are considered the third leading cause of death? What if you can get the benefits of the medicines without the medicines and the nasty side effects? And what if you can do that simply by eating more delicious, nutritious foods? I am Shayna Melissa Stockman, the autoimmune expert who empowers mostly ladies to get and feel better while reducing or often eliminating your reliance on medicines. And today we're going to talk all about food is medicine. And I'm very passionate about this topic for a few reasons. One is that prescription drugs are a third leading cause of death in this country. But also, my grandpa was a licensed pharmacist who died of a lethal drug interaction, a prescription drug that he was taking. So it's important for us to know, even if you're taking prescribed medicine at the prescribed dosage and interval, you can often still have adverse reactions, side effects, dependencies, and deaths from the medicine. So I don't resort to it first. Now, if you look at this photo right here, I want you to Google Rockefeller and how medicine started. We can go back to that last slide for 1 second. Google, please, Rockefeller and how medicine started. It will absolutely blow your mind. Okay, now I believe because my grandpa was the pharmacist and had a lethal prescription drug interaction, that's why my grandma raised me with naturopathy and powers of the food and the plants to be used for medicinal purposes, like we used to before Rockefeller changed how medicine was. Now, if you look at this next slide, I want to show you my grandma raised me with naturopathy. I grew up with grandma eating low salt food so she wouldn't need a blood pressure pill. I grew up with grandma eating a banana every day. And in later years in science class, I would realize, wow, Bananas have important potassium and magnesium to control our heart rate and our blood pressure. So, grandma was the first one to introduce me to naturopathy. But before Rockefeller changed medicine in the early 1900s, everyone used naturopathy. We didn't even need to use the word. So, grandma taught me how, and then I went on for 5 college degrees, 4 nursing licenses, and 30 plus years as a licensed healthcare pro to show to you the power of the plants. All right, now I want you to know that you might eat certain foods and feel worse, right? Say you have coffee and it gives you palpitations, it makes you shake and jittery, or acid reflux. So it's important to know if certain foods make you feel worse, there's other foods that can make you feel better, right? Now, a lot of people, not all of them, but some people became diabetic or had high cholesterol because of what they were ingesting. A lot of processed foods, fried foods. So I want you to know that certain foods can help you feel worse and other foods can help you feel better. Here's a photo of my plate in Florida few weeks ago. And I asked for dressing, grilled chicken, dressing, salad, grilled chicken, dressing on the side. I decided to skip the tomato because I know tomatoes could cause a flare up of my symptoms. So I help you guys in my upcoming workshops, classes, and courses figure out what triggers that you're eating and drinking or in the environment that are aggravating your symptoms and causing flare ups of your autoimmune. Because it's simple that if we remove those triggers, you're not going to have the symptoms and the flare ups. And I noticed that people with lupus, that when they eat garlic, it causes a flare up of their symptoms and their autoimmune disorders. So if you know someone who has negative consequences from eating garlic, they may have an underlying autoimmune disorder that they don't even know about. And I want to encourage you more. We don't have enough time to take a deeper dive, but if you'd like to take a deeper dive to know what foods are triggering your problems and what drinks and what foods you should do quick swap outs instead of for, that I encourage you to join our upcoming live Reclaim Your Life super workshop. We're going to take a much deeper dive into it. I'm all about in your busy lifestyle, what I call swap outs. Instead of the candy bar, eat the apple with the nuts. So I am all about not growing all organic and cooking for 5 hours. In your busy lifestyle, how can you do quick swap outs? And the live Reclaim Your Life super workshop, I have free and VIP seats available, but I am limiting them. So I encourage you right now to claim your seat at worldwellnessexpert.com/reclaim. You can either scan the QR code that's going to pop up or just click on that link and either claim the no cost seat or the VIP experience. The VIP experience will give you a second session for live Q&A with hot seats to get questions to your answers in real time by myself. It'll give you an all new digital and printable Reclaim Your Life blueprint with a lot of the notes and worksheets. And it'll give you a third private, confidential, one-on-one session with me for less than the cost of what you would spend on a lunch. And this is the introductory price. I don't think I'm going to keep it this way. And soon the free seats will go away. So I encourage you now to just go to worldwellnessexpert.com/reclaim or scan that QR code and decide if you want a no cost or a VIP seat. Oh, if you can't make the date coming up, Thursday, October 18th, 12 to 3 p.m. EST, no worries. Level up to VIP. You will also get the replay access. All right. Moving right along. I want you to know there's simple things we can do in our busy lifestyle to incorporate one pot wonders. Put in 5 simple ingredients, set it and forget it, or put it in the crock pot or the pressure cooker and totally forget about it. Now, if you look at this next slide, if we know there's certain foods that aggravate us, right? Like tomatoes might cause me to have reflux. There's other foods that can help us. Now, all of these foods here are natural anti-inflammatories. So what happens if you made a one pot wonder with all of them? You put the wild salmon, not not farm raised, because farm raised has red dyes and plastics from the piping, the water system. What happens if you put wild salmon that has the good omegas in it with fresh cilantro, fresh ginger root? Woo, the fresh cilantro right here, and the ginger root, and with the lemon and a little extra virgin olive. So you see, all of these right here are natural anti-inflammatories. Why not put them into a one pot wonder? Fresh cilantro, fresh lemon, fresh ginger. And a lot of these have medicinal purposes more than just natural anti-inflammatories. Now, check this out. For instance, lemon, I use it to clean with instead of harsh chemicals. Lemon and a little baking soda clean things amazingly without harsh chemicals and nasty scrubbing. Now, cilantro is a great anti inflammatory. I use this often instead of oregano in my sauces and everything. I even use it to make dips with Greek yogurt, and that I use the garlic and the ginger root and the cilantro. In fact, another natural anti-inflammatory is garlic. So what if I made a meal with the cilantro, the garlic, the ginger root, and the lemon? How cool would that be? So often I'll make a dip with Greek yogurt and add in cilantro. I'll spice it up with ginger root, a little garlic, a squeeze of lemon. Mm. I want you to know, if you like some more recipes, let's show this next one. I am so proud to collaborate with this beautiful, healthy, happy living magazine called Kudos. I've been collaborating with this magazine for about 2 years now, and about the last 18 editions of the magazine. And in this beautiful magazine, there's a lot of quick, easy, healthy, delicious, and nutritious recipes that you can make with a simple few ingredients in minutes at a time. And in this magazine, if you'd like to get it, a complimentary copy, just go to worldwellnessexpert.com/kudos, or drop down below kudos and we'll get you that link. Now, in this magazine, it's printable and digital. So in the digital magazine, you can click that image of me holding up the fruit and go right to the video where I'm discussing that recipe. How cool is that? So in the magazine, there are QR codes, there are click here where you'll click on that image and it'll go right to the video to show you how I'm making these quick, easy recipes. Thank you, Kudos Magazine. High five. Kudos to you for that beautiful magazine. And if you're a member of mine, and if you're in our Your Wellness Journey 90-day program or a recurring member of mine, you will get all 17 or 18 past editions with all the recipes inside. All right. I want to share with you some news. I'm usually all about good news, but my heart goes out. I am a huge empath. And first, I want to give a moment for Charlie Kirk, that just lost his life a few days ago. May you rest in peace, Charlie. um, this hit home really bad, because I feel like now his wife will never have her husband. Those two little baby girls will never have the mentoring of their biological father. And despite what you think of him, he brought a lot of people together. He inspired and motivated the next generation to unite for a common, peaceful debate over their thoughts. And I honestly believe there was a much deeper reasoning for his assassination. And I really believe they were fearful he was become a president in the future and promote another Republican president. It goes much deeper than this. You guys are going to find out in the upcoming days. But I just want to say, rest in peace, Charlie. My heart goes out to your friends, families, and fans. And let's be peaceful, guys. We can all speak our differences, but we don't have to kill each other who thinks differently than us, right? We might have different flavors, different colors, different religions, but we shouldn't go around killing people. So, guys, let's just have peaceful protests. Speak what you want, but respect other people's thoughts. I want to move right along to our next slide, some good news. So we just had Farmer Steve on our show this past Wednesday. You can watch the replay on YouTube at youtube.com/Shayna Melissa. If you want the direct link, just drop YouTube down below. So we had Farmer Steve on last Wednesday. He is a fifth generation farmer. He grows all organic, no pesticides, no insecticides. His pork doesn't have this protection in it. And we had him on to enlighten us. And he was saying the power of the fruits and vegetables, but they rapidly lose their nutrients a few days after their farm. So I encourage you to go to your local farm stand and get them to support the local farmers that are all struggling right now. Now, he also shared with us last Wednesday, right before we went live, he got another phone call from RFK Jr. And they're discussing collaborations with making food as medicine. Now, I've been saying this for decades. And I'm glad the rest of the people are finally coming around. For those of you, I see the eyeballs on us, please drop us a heart or a comment so I know who's watching. I can give you a special shout out. We can stream your questions right across the screen. Subscribe if you haven't already. Now, Farmer Steve is working with RFK Jr. to make food as medicine. And I want you to know, I've been advocating for this for decades. And a lot of times, the trailblazers, people look at them like they're crazy until decades later after the masses come around. Now, I'll give you a few examples. Steve Jobs said, like in the 70s or 80s, we're going to have a computer in every household. And they were huge. And people were like, no way is that possible. Christopher Columbus said the world is round. Everyone's like, no, he's crazy. And then, despite that, most people think it is now. And then another one is Sir Richard Branson said, I'm going to send men and women to outer space. And people thought, no, that's craziness. But I want you to know those trailblazers, you're realizing that their vision became a reality. And I've been talking all about food is medicine for decades. So I'm so glad that we're finally coming around and RFK Jr. is jumping on the bandwagon with Farmer Steve and some others. And hopefully we're trying to get food is medicine eventually covered by Medicare and Medicaid. And then often the other insurances follow suit. And also Farmer Steve is working with RFK Jr. to try to ban weather modification, the chemicals they're spraying to modify weather in all 50 states. Now, this farmer theme has been all week long. First, we had Farmer Steve on the show last Wednesday. Then, just a couple of days ago, I had the documentary debut of this film where I got to play the main character. And the main character I played was a farmer's wife from 200 years ago, a real farmer's wife, Caroline Terry. And this documentary was made to celebrate the 200th anniversary of, I believe, the last remaining 200-year-old one room schoolhouse on Long Island that farmer Elijah Terry not only farmed the area, but also was the teacher of the one room schoolhouse. And I got to play Elijah's wife, Caroline Terry, and this documentary made its debut just a few days ago on Sunday. And there you can see me stirring the stew with the potatoes inside. So there are so many farmer things coming up this week between Farmer Steve on the Shayna Show Live, between this documentary where I played a farmer's wife from 200 years ago, stirring the stew. And then I also went to Pumpkin Patch Stand. There I am with Pat, her husband Don, have been owning this farm stand on Long Island since I'm born in the 1970s. So I was so happy to also go to their farm stand, get some gold nuggets from Pat and her husband, how to store the food, how to cook the food, the medicinal purposes of the food. And I took a lot of short snippets there that I will be disclosing in the near future on my YouTube channel and in the Reclaim Your Life workshop coming up and in my 90-day Your Wellness Journey, where we're using these foods for medicinal purposes. Now, I'll give you an example. Red tomatoes give me agita, right? Acid reflux from tomatoes and pizza sauces. But did you know Did you know that you can swap out red tomatoes for orange? They're sweeter, they're more delicious, and they're lower in acid. So, if I like my tomatoes, I don't want to stop eating them. I'm going to make my sauces and my salsas from orange tomatoes. Then, I'm going to incorporate that fresh cilantro into my salsa, right? And the garlic and the ginger root. What if I could make salsas that don't give me acid reflux with sweeter, less acidic orange tomatoes? And the orange tomatoes also have more beta carotene, which is vitamin A. So they're great for salsas and sauces. And if you mix them with other natural anti inflammatories, you get more of a bang for your buck. Now, I like to mix it with ginger because ginger root smooths the tummy. Now, there's so many foods we can use for their medicinal purposes. Now, here's another example. Did you know when you get jams, they're loaded with sugar, right? And jellies are often loaded with high fructose corn syrup. But if you get spread often is just made thinner from fruit juices. So I highly recommend spread over jams and jellies. Now, check this out. Here's some dressing. Here's some ginger dressing. If you don't want to make your own, I bought this at Pumpkin Patch. It's ginger dressing and ginger Thai sauce. So we're talking you can make quick, easy meals with pre-done sauces that have natural ingredients in your busy lifestyle, right? What happens if I took this ginger Thai sauce and I slow simmered in some yummy chicken and even dumped some pineapple slices on top and another because pineapple lines to help you digest foods. If you needed antibiotics and it killed off the good bacteria in your stomach, and you don't want to eat yogurt for probiotics or prebiotics because you have a problem with lactose, what happens if you just use some cabbage? Cabbage is a phenomenal prebiotic. All you have to do is slow simmer it for a few minutes, extra virgin olive oil. You can even add a little apple cider vinegar to it and make it like your own sauerkraut. Yum, yum, yum. Mm-mm. So we have so many helpful tips for you. Oh, another one I want to go into. Now, okay, so if you have inflammation, right? And you don't want to take ibuprofen that's going to upset your stomach or meloxicam that's going to affect your kidney function. Again, use the natural anti-inflammatories. What if you made a meal, a salsa with that orange tomato? So you got your vitamin A, your cilantro, your ginger, you added a little bit of lemon and you added the garlic root. So we're all about foods for the medicinal purposes. Now, say your blood pressure is high, right? Why not do what grandma did if it's a little high? Eat your banana for your potassium, magnesium, or have avocados, or garlic is great to lower blood pressure and cholesterol naturally without the nasty side effects. And even tomatoes has something in it called lycopene that can lower the top number, the systolic number of your blood pressure. So say your top number of your blood pressure is high. Why not eat more tomatoes, more garlic, Another thing you can do is cacao, however you want to pronounce it. It's the active ingredient in chocolate, but a lot of chocolate right now is filled with heavy metals, sugars, and other things. So what if you just take that cacao and mix it in your unsweetened milks or your Greek yogurt and even freeze your Greek yogurt with the cacao. There's so many things you can do with natural ingredients to lower blood pressure, lower cholesterol. Oh my God, I can go on and on. So, again, if this bothers your stomach, Realize what are triggers that are unique to you and your symptoms, and simple swap this red tomato out for this orange tomato. I can go on and on. What else? Oh, there's something called pumpkin butter now, right? Say, I mean, I love butter. Butter is good for you, real butter. But what happens if you want to cut back on your butter? You can use this pumpkin spread like a butter on your toast. And there's so many other helpful things that we can get into. Oh, sweet potatoes, right? So white potatoes has more sugar, glucose that releases and spikes your sugar quicker. So why not swap out the white potato that may trigger your symptoms for the sweet potato? I believe it has more protein, it helps with your vision and immunity, and you get better glycemic control because the carbs in it are slower release. So it's all about swap outs. Swap out the white for the sweet potato, swap out the red tomato for the orange tomato. Mm-mm. And here's some of the sweet potatoes I just got and things you can do with them. Let me show you a couple things you can do with the sweet potatoes, right? So swap out the white for the sweet so you get better glycemic control. You can take a crinkle cutter and cut them on an angle and make potato chips or french fries, or you can have them baked or even mashed. There's so many cool things you can do with this. You can make a one pot wonder like a shepherd's pie with this instead of white. And check this out. I just bought sweet potato chips. There's only two ingredients in this. It is sweet potatoes and a healthy oil. Look at this. How cool is that? So swap out something that's bad for something that's good in your busy lifestyle. So I want you to swap out the fried potato chips with all that nasty seed oil for the sweet potatoes. So instead of the white potatoes, you have sweet potatoes. So it's all about quick, easy swap outs. And I hope this helps you. I don't want to keep you too much longer. Mango, here's another one. Mango seems to soothe my tummy as well as avocado. And like my grandma taught me, good old fashioned baking soda without the aluminum will instantaneously alkalize your acidic stomach. So just take about a half teaspoon of baking soda and a little bit of water. I want you to know I'm not giving you specific medical advice right here, right now, because I don't know your allergies, signs, symptoms, the meds that you're on. I would say reach out to your licensed healthcare professional or let me become one of your licensed healthcare professionals. And if you'd like to take a much deeper dive, please click that subscribe button to the YouTube. We have about 1,000 videos right there, right now. You could see Farmer Steve from last week, and also join our upcoming live Reclaim Your Life Super Workshop. Just scan that QR code or go to worldwellnessexpert.com/reclaim. It is Saturday, October 18th, 12 noon to 3 p.m. EST. If you can't make it, you can only make a part of it level up to VIP. You'll get the replay access, a second session of live Q&A, a third session private one-on-one consultation with me, and the digital and printable workbook. This is all new content that I have not shown before. So even if you've taken one of my other workshops, I highly encourage you to do this one. It's going to be fun, interactive, and it's going to be hands on, where you're going to learn more about your specific triggers, food, drinks, healthier swap outs you can do, that you are worthy, you are deserving. It's geared especially for those that are suffering with symptoms, especially my fellow autoimmune warriors, and especially my fellow healthcare pros, because my fellow nurses, we often put our needs last. I remember when I was running an ER during the pandemic, and I was in full blown heart failure. And I was still putting all of those patients' needs in front of my own. My fellow nurses and other healthcare pros, and the ladies out there, the mothers, the wives, we know we often put our needs very last. And at the end of the day, there's no time left, there's no energy left, there's no money left. So I want you to know, you might need to hear this right now. You are worthy. You are deserving to treat yourself at least as good as you treat the entire world, all of your patients, your kids, your husbands, your husbands, your husband, your friends. I want you to know you're worthy, you're deserving. So please, what I had to do to get out of heart failure, one is I had to reprioritize me, myself. I had to realize I am worthy, I am deserving. I had to work on mindset. I had to prioritize myself over my job, over my business. I had to take the time out and take time away from something I didn't need to do to something I did need to do. Because I know if I didn't do it now, when? Probably never, and I would have been dead by now, right? Because these symptoms only continue to get worse, and sometimes they're hard to come back from. So I want you to know, please join our upcoming live Reclaim Your Life. The problem is, everyone's always asking me, in case you didn't realize this, I had all these autoimmune issues. And I'll give you some of the symptoms, because you might have some of the symptoms and not realize you have an autoimmune issue. I was gaining weight even though I didn't change my diet or exercise. My hair was falling out in clumps. I was insomnia. I was getting sad over all my symptoms. I was in excruciating pain out of proportion. I was waking up exhausted and achy. All the meds didn't work. All the tests said you're normal, you're fine, you'll have to live with it. It's your hormones. The doctors gaslit me. They blew me off. Try this, try that, like I was a guinea pig. Try a higher dose, another med, another med. I was like, no, the meds made me feel worse. They don't stop the problem from progressing, and they sure as hell don't reverse it. I was looking for a cure all. How can I get to the root cause of the problem to stop the progression and reverse it? I knew, after being a licensed healthcare pro for over 30 years, all the patients with autoimmune and medical mysteries, no matter which diagnosis and which doctor and which med they went on, the job of those meds was to weaken the immune system. That's the worst thing to do. You see, with a weakened immune system, you're catching more contagious infectious diseases. You're sick more often with more severe symptoms, lasting longer. You're afraid to leave your bubble. You're getting side effects from the meds and needing more meds. And that's what I was going through. And I noticed all my patients were going through. So I knew, although doing something different was scary, I sure as hell didn't want the results those patients were getting, because hell no, they were feeling worse and on more meds. So I knew I had to do something different. I did things totally different. Fast forward, I have none of those symptoms. I'm back to my ideal weight, as you can see, my ideal blood pressure, sugars. I have no more heart failure, no more MS flare ups in years, no more IBS. My hair is coming in thicker. All my tests are normal. I'm energetic. I feel great, and I take no meds. And a lot of people are asking me, and I can't stop individually and explain my 30 years of experience to each individual person, because literally they'd get 5 seconds of my time. So instead, I created this live super workshop where I can save myself time and energy of repeating 100 times and create a deeper impact and reach more lives by doing a workshop. So I encourage you, this way it'll give you more time. It's going to give you 3 hours of my time that I could never do on a one-on-one. And it's going to help impact more people in less time. So I encourage, you know what? If this isn't for you, if you're feeling fantastic and you take absolutely no meds, then please click that share button and share it with someone who could benefit. There's over 100 autoimmune disorders, and I'm just going to explain a couple because you might know someone this could benefit: MS, rheumatoid, allergies, eczema, psoriasis, the intestinal issues, IBS, Crohn's, ulcerative colitis, celiac. Those are all autoimmune. There's over 100 of them. So if you know people that are suffering from symptoms and they're on meds and not getting any better, please click this share button. That's all you got to do. So I want to encourage you to do that. I hope to see you on the Reclaim Your Life Super Workshop. There are currently free and VIP seats. I am limiting the number of seats. So if you want a free seat, snag it now. If you want a VIP seat, snag it now while you still can. The low introductory price for the VIP is only $47. So snag that while it's only $47. So that's all I want to say. I hope you see that I'm very passionate in what I do. And I want to empower you in your busy lifestyle to know that you are worthy, you are deserving. Look, I did it. Thousands of my clients from around the world got better while reducing or eliminating their reliance on meds. We're talking about tiny small habits that you can do in minutes at a time that can make such a huge impact. A 4-minute happy dance a day is 24 hours of extra exercise. So I want to show you in the workshop and your wellness 90-day program that there's a lot of little things you can do to add up. Habits could be good, and little good habits add up. So that's all I want to say. Thank you for tuning in. Click that subscribe button, click that share button, but most importantly, join our upcoming live Reclaim Your Life Power Hour Super Workshop, Saturday, October 18th, 12 to 3 p.m. If you can't join live, level up to VIP for $47. You'll get the replay, another session for live Q&A, and a third session, a private consult with me for $47. Now, normally my consults are $600. Okay. So I probably will not keep this introductory price again. That's all I want to say. Thank you for tuning in. Click the share, join our workshop, worldwellnessexpert.com/reclaim, and I hope to see you there.
Finding the strength deep inside. Shayna Melissa takes us on this ride from suffering to a life so free. Her healing.